Welcome to. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating empires in history, the Ottoman Empire. This was an empire of culture, learning, and incredible artistic and architectural achievement. But it was also an empire of secrets. Let's uncover. The Ottoman sultans lived lives of almost unimaginable luxury. They amassed unimaginable wealth, gold, jewels, precious artifacts from every corner of their vast empire. But when the empire fell, much of that wealth seemed to vanish. We can still see some of it, the incredible jewels at Topkapi Palace in Istanbul. But these are just a fraction of the riches the sultans once possessed. Rumors have persisted for centuries of hidden vaults beneath Istanbul, treasure ships sunk beneath the waves, and fortunes spirited away in the dead of night. Could any of these rumors be true? It's certainly possible. The possibility is still out there, waiting for some lucky soul, or perhaps some intrepid historian to uncover it. Few buildings in the world have witnessed as much history as the Hagia Sophia. For centuries it stood as a symbol of the Byzantine Empire, its magnificent dome reaching towards the heavens. But in 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottomans, and the Hagia Sophia was transformed into a mosque. Beneath its stunning Islamic calligraphy and Ottoman architecture, the Hagia Sophia still whispers of its Byzantine past. There are rumors of hidden chambers sealed off centuries ago, perhaps containing priceless Christian relics or even secret libraries of ancient texts. The Hagia Sophia is a building full of secrets, a place where history seems to seep from the very walls. The Ottoman Empire was built on the backs of its soldiers, and no soldiers were more feared, more respected, or more fiercely loyal than the Janissaries. These were warriors taken from their families as boys, converted to Islam, and molded into perfect soldiers. They were utterly dedicated to the Sultan, their lives completely intertwined with the fate of the empire. How did the Ottomans secure such unwavering loyalty? Rigorous training played a part, of course. These boys were drilled to within an inch of their lives, taught to fight and kill with ruthless efficiency. But there was something else at play here, a psychological bond forged in their unique upbringing and shared destiny. Was this enough to explain their legendary loyalty, or were there other darker secrets at play? We may never know for sure. Suleiman the Magnificent. The very name evokes images of Ottoman power and grandeur. The empire reached its zenith, stretching from the gates of Vienna to the Persian Gulf. But even the greatest of sultans cannot escape the clutches of death. In 1566, during a military campaign in Hungary, the official story is that he died of natural causes, but whispers of intrigue and conspiracy have persisted for centuries. Some historians believe that Suleiman's death was kept secret for weeks to. The mystery surrounding Suleiman's death serves as a reminder that even in death, the Ottoman Empire was a place of secrets and shadows. The Ottoman Empire was a vast, multicultural, multi-ethnic state. To rule it effectively required a special kind of army, an army that was loyal not to any one ethnicity or religion, but to the Sultan himself. Enter the Devshirme system. Imagine being a Christian family in the Balkans, living under the shadow of Ottoman rule. Then one day, Ottoman officials arrive at your village to take your sons' boys as young as 8 years old, to be raised as Muslims and trained for service in the Ottoman military. These boys were ripped from their families, stripped of their language, their religion, their very identities. The Janissaries, those elite soldiers we talked about earlier, were the product of the Devshirme system. Was the Devshirme system a necessary evil? A brutal but effective way of maintaining order and control in a vast empire? Or was it an unforgivable crime against humanity? I'll leave that for you to decide. The Ottomans were a land-based empire, right? Well, yes and no. They certainly had a fearsome reputation on land, but their power also stretched across the sea. At their peak, the Ottomans controlled much of the Mediterranean, their warships a familiar sight from the Straits of Gibraltar to the Levant, but even the mightiest fleets can vanish beneath the waves, taking their secrets with them. One of the most intriguing disappearances involves a fleet sent to aid the Moriscos in Spain. The fleet set sail, but then, silence. It simply vanished from history. The sea can be a cruel mistress, especially in the age of sail. Storms could arise with terrifying speed, smashing ships to pieces against rocky shores. But there are other more intriguing possibilities. Some whisper of sabotage, of treachery within the Ottoman ranks. Ah, the Ottoman harem. It's an image that immediately captures the imagination, doesn't it? A world of opulent luxury, of beautiful women, of exotic music and whispered secrets. But it was also much more than just a playground for the Sultan. The harem was a place of power, exercised not through brute force, but through influence, through cunning, through whispers in the Sultan's ear. At the heart of this power were the women of the harem, most notably the Sultan's mother, known as the Valide Sultan, and his favorite concubines. These women were often highly educated, skilled in diplomacy and intrigue. One of the most famous examples is Hurrem Sultan, the wife of Suleiman the Magnificent, who wielded considerable influence over her husband and played a key role in shaping Ottoman policy. The inner workings of the harem remain shrouded in secrecy, making it endlessly fascinating. The 18th century was a time of change for the Ottoman Empire. After centuries of expansion and conquest, a new era dawned, the tulip era. It was a time of peace and prosperity, of cultural flourishing and artistic innovation. Tulips, brought to Istanbul from Persia, became all the rage. But some scholars believe there was more to the Ottoman obsession with tulips than meets the eye. Could these beautiful flowers have carried hidden messages? The symbolism of flowers might have been used to convey hidden meanings, especially in a society where discretion and subtlety were highly prized. At its peak, the Ottoman Empire seemed invincible. It straddled 3 continents, commanded vast armies, and controlled lucrative trade routes. But by the early 20th century, this once mighty empire was in terminal decline. So, what happened? How did an empire that had stood for over 6 centuries crumble so quickly? It was a perfect storm of internal and external pressures. Internal corruption, economic stagnation, and a series of weak sultans all played their part. Meanwhile, the rise of nationalism in the Balkans and the ambitions of European powers chipped away at the empire's edges. Some historians point to the disastrous decision to join World War I on the side of the Central Powers. The war proved to be the final nail in the coffin, shattering what little remained of the empire's strength. The Ottomans were meticulous record keepers. They documented everything: tax records, court proceedings, military campaigns, even love letters. But many of these archives are gone, vanished, disappeared. The loss of historical records is sadly all too common. Fires, floods, the ravages of time, all can take their toll. But the disappearance of the Ottoman archives is particularly frustrating for historians. These weren't just any documents. They were the keys to understanding one of the most important empires in history. Some believe that the archives were destroyed deliberately, either by Ottoman officials trying to cover up embarrassing secrets, or by enemy forces seeking to erase the empire's legacy. Until then, the lost archives of the Ottoman Empire will continue to tantalize historians, a treasure trove of knowledge lost but not forgotten. The Ottoman Empire was a realm of grandeur, intrigue, and unanswered questions. From hidden treasures to political conspiracies, these mysteries remind us that history is never as simple as it seems. What do you think lies at the heart of these enigmas? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. Until next time, stay curious.